Hi, everybody. Welcome to Unity Radio 97.9 FM with Community Connection. This is the SuSanity Live Show, and my name is SuSanity Ouellette. I'm super excited to be here, even though the rain was wacky today. How can you have an 80-degree day turn down to a 57-degree day? It's crazy. So I'm at my clinic today, and I put everything outside because I want, people to buy gift certificates, at SuSanity Life for Mother's Day. And everything's great. And then I see my client, and I forgot that I had another client coming. So I went all the way home and got in the driveway, and she's like, "Hi, I'm here 20 minutes early." And I was like, oh my God. So I literally had to drive all the way back to Sturbridge. And it just so happened that as I'm driving, the rain started like pouring down like crazy. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Like, where did this rain come from? So if anyone's ever had a day like that where they are forgetful, and they put things away on the wrong side of the, I don't even know, refrigerator or something or whatever. Like, it's just, my brain was like off today.
I have
ADHD,
I have ADHD, so welcome to my life.
So do I. But sometimes I'm okay with it. Like, you know what I mean? But today, this wasn't the day, let's just say. So this is Echo Collins. She is the founder and executive director of 508 C.H.E.E.R.S. We're going to talk about C.H.E.E.R.S because I'm really excited actually about it. But I've known Echo for a long, long time. She has a twin sister that I know very well who is famous to me. We met on my radio show. Brie came on my radio show, and I met you at the radio. But this was like, God, I've been doing this for 6 years. That's how long it's been. That's crazy.
That's amazing.
So why don't you introduce yourself to our viewers? Whatever you want to say, just tell them who we are.
My name is Echo Louison Collins. I am newly married. Hey, I'm the mother of two amazing boys, Makai and Matson. Makai is 12. He goes to middle school. Matson is 17, and he is killing it in prep school football. Watch out, y'all. He's in Division I recruiting. So, but I am the founder and executive director of 508 C.H.E.E.R.S. 508 C.H.E.E.R.S is my heart. It's my love. It's my passion. It's every single thing that I stand for in my life. We are a youth community service nonprofit, and we utilize community service, the power of giving, and lifting up each other to teach the youth about leadership, advocacy, the power of their voice, and their lived experience. And we do a lot of really genuine, authentic mental health engagement work as well.
That's amazing. So you wear a lot of hats.
I wear all the hats. Someone said this, and I actually thought it was genius. He said, being an executive director and founder is never boring, because if you get tired of creating programs, don't worry, there's marketing. And if you get tired of marketing, don't worry, there's reporting. And if you get tired of reporting, don't worry, there's all these other things that you have to do. So you're never bored and always busy.
So how did 508 C.H.E.E.R.S get started?
About 4 years ago. We are actually coming up, we're 4 years officially as of May of this year, but our 1 year nonprofit 501c3 anniversary is coming up on June 13th.
Yay.
So that's a big deal. But about 4 years ago, some basketball coaches and I were in the community. I'm all about basketball. I'm a Hall of Famer, 1,000-point scorer. I played college ball. I coach, and we were driving around the city and noticing the parks were really empty. And it was sad, because
that is sad.
I've never seen an empty park in my life. It just doesn't happen. It was the middle of summer. It was the height of everything. And it was the year that there was a lot of teen violence. Teens were killing teens, and it was scary. And the effect was all over the city.
That's terrible.
The parks were empty. There was a lot of fear, and me and a couple other basketball coaches went out to Crompton Park, one of the known parks in the city. And we posted on Facebook, and we said, hey, we're out here. We're playing basketball. We're coaching. We're training. It's free. It's safe. come on out. And the youth started coming out, and then we started going out every Friday. We thought Friday was important to give the youth something to do. And the youth kept coming out. And at that time, the community fridges, we were about in our second year maybe. Mm-hmm. And I was highly involved in that. And after basketball one day, I said, I really love serving the community. Like, how do I get the youth involved in this? Like, we have to figure out a way to harness all of this great energy. So I brought a bunch of plastic bags and gloves and picker-uppers, and I said, all right, we're going to pick up the park. And we started picking up the park, and they had such a good time, and they enjoyed it. And they enjoyed it because we enjoyed it. And they didn't look at it as work. They didn't look at it as a chore. They didn't look at it as if they were being punished. They were so excited and proud of themselves. So the next Friday we came back, I said, all right, someone, bring food donations if you have anything. We're going to the community fridges. So the youth came, and then the next time I took them to the community fridges and, showed them the fridges. Most of them had never seen one. We organized it, we cleaned it out, and we put food in it. And that was the start of, my nonprofit, which uses community service and sports and just engagement to attract the youth and teach them that they are the change, that they are the leaders in society.
So how did you get the name 508 Cheers?
Oh, how did we get the name 508 Cheers? We started off as C.H.E.E.R.S.
As what?
As C.H.E.E.R.S. And C.H.E.E.R.S was more of a basketball-based nonprofit. And I didn't even know I was going to be a nonprofit at that time. It happened. We started in basketball and then decided that community service was really more of the angle, and mentoring was really more of the angle we wanted to be. So I rebranded 508 Cheers. We started off as C.H.E.E.R., C.H.E.E.R., which at that time was Community Healthy Eating. I don't even remember, but either way,
That's okay.
It was just a bunch of words, and it sounded great, but I loved the acronym, but we ended up adjusting, and now we are, C.H.E.E.R.S stands for Community Health, Equity, Empowerment, Resources, and Service. Okay. And those are the models of everything we stand for. But cheer represents me. I'm cheery. I am a cheerleader. We are all about uplifting and using our voice, raising our voice. So it just really, really made sense.
And the 508 was just
Worcester.
Okay.
508 Cheers.
Now you did E4All, right? Didn't you did you do the E4All program?
I was an E4All mentor, but my twin sister.
Yes, Bree, I know. I wasn't sure if
people don't even really say Bree, and we always know her as Bree Sweet Treats. My twin sister, Bree Sweet Treats.
Yeah. Yeah.
She actually did E4All and won.
Yes.
It went all the way and won. I was a mentor in E4All for several years. It's a really phenomenal program. I spent a lot of time telling people about E4All and how it just builds a network, and it builds a resource, and it gives you the support and the help and the foundation, because a lot of people have amazing ideas. Like I did, I have a heart for youth and mentoring and programming. But my knowledge was not in building a nonprofit, having a 501c3, having a board, having bylaws, understanding a grant. The first time I opened a grant, it might as well have been Japanese. I was like, oh man, I'm a nonprofit. I'm going to, apply for this grant. I wasn't even a nonprofit. I had a fiscal sponsor. I opened the grant, and I got 2 sentences in to realize I was in over my head. I had no idea what I was doing.
So you went to Clark University though, right?
Yes.
Is that where you graduated from?
Yes.
So don't they have like a program, like don't they have things there that you can go and like sit with people that know that knowledge of that? Isn't there like a program there? I thought there was.
They do a lot of stuff actually. So let me tell you something. They have like this small business development kind of partnership that's partnered with them that has been very helpful to my sister. But they also not only will they help you with that stuff, but now that I'm a nonprofit like Clark, I have interns from Clark.
That's fantastic.
I have work study students from Clark. I have people who are doing studies on my programming, and their focus is nonprofit, or their focus is youth and community justice. So now they're partnering with me doing an internship so they can study my program and write papers on it. And that's all through C.H.E.E.R.S. So C.H.E.E.R.S has a lot of services and a lot of assistances. And I don't think enough businesses or nonprofits are leaning into the support services that are available within colleges, not just C.H.E.E.R.S, because we have 11 colleges in the consortium of Worcester. They all have programs like this. They all have supports like this. They all have students who need internships, who need projects, whether you need a website, whether you need marketing, whether you need a system built. And so we're in the heart of 11 resources that I think are highly underutilized by the community.
I did E4L. I loved it. I needed it at the time too. I was going through some stuff and I sent everybody there. Like every time someone tells me they haven't done, have you heard of E4L?
Yes.
You need to sign up or try to get into E4L. Like you just go in and they tell them.
Okay, shout out.
Yeah.
I can't roll my R's, please. I don't want to read it in the comments. I've never claimed that. So
So basically what C.H.E.E.R.S is, it's almost like a community outreach for the youth, whereas they actually feel wanted and desired and being in a space where they actually matter.
Yeah.
It sounds like.
Yeah, through delivering community service projects and deciding what they care about and how do they address something when they figure out they care about it.
Yeah.
Or when they figure out something's wrong and I don't like it.
Yeah.
Right. That's big too. So we do a lot about advocacy. And I think a lot of people, when they hear advocacy, they think politics and, they go, oh, but advocacy is so much more than politics. Advocacy is every single day. Every single day of your life, advocacy benefits you. You advocate in your home, in your relationships, on your job, in your schools, on your team, in your neighborhood. So this is a daily part of our experience. So I think the sooner we empower the youth and teach them that their voice matters and that their personal lived experience is very powerful. And that's what we're doing at 508 C.H.E.E.R.S, because you're going to have to advocate for yourself every single day of your life to be successful.
Oh God. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so your boys must be really proud of you. And are they involved? You have them involved in it a little bit? Like, how old are your boys?
So Makai is 12, but he'll be 13 in June. Gonna have 2 teenagers. Matson's 17.
Okay.
And actually part of this was created because of them.
Okay.
I was out in the community and I was doing a lot of work in the community and I was leaving my boys behind. And I really started to I had that heart check, you're helping the community while you're hurting your home. And I said, this is the unbalance that people talk about. You can't pour from an empty cup, or you can't serve others while you're doing a disservice to the thing that you love and cherish the most. And I started thinking about that. So when this opportunity came up, I was like, oh my gosh, here's an opportunity for me to build something where I get to bring my kids along with me and teach them what I'm doing in the community and show them how to do it. And then they'll always be with me. And through the WCAC, we actually get to pay youth. So youth don't just work for my program. One summer I had 40 youth, 25 youth who were being paid for 25 hours a weekly, and 11 youth who had 40-hour-a-week jobs.
That's great. Wow.
Yeah.
That's so good. That's so cool.
That's resources.
Yeah.
Resources, just connecting to the right people. And really, kindness matters. Showing up matters. And these resources are made available to you when you show up, and when you show up unapologetically, genuinely, authentically yourself. What you need will show up for you.
We're going to talk more when we get back about your life, because I want to know kind of where you were before you found this, before you had kids, what your life was like. So we're going to do that when we get back. So guys, this is the SuSanity Life Show. My name is Susan Ouellette here at Unity Radio 97.9 FM with Community Connection. We are here, we're a community, and we're here with Echo. She's talking about her 508 C.H.E.E.R.S, and she's going to talk about so much more awards and all these things. So we'll be right back.
Unity Radio. Worcester We've got you.
Hey, what's up, Worcester? This is C.H.E.E.R, and I'm inviting you to be inspired with me every Sunday starting at 6 a.m. with the C.H.E.E.R Show on Unity Radio. I'll get you going with a motivating word, special guests, the absolute best music, and a few other surprises. But you gotta tune in on Sundays at Unity Radio to find out. It's C.H.E.E.R, and the C.H.E.E.R Show is happening Sundays from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. right here on Unity Radio 97.9, Worcester's Community Connection, and also streaming on WUTY.org.
Hi, I'm Ernie Floyd, host of the Unity in the Community Show on Unity Radio 97.9. Join me and my guests as we discuss topics on embracing our diverse cultural communities, the music, the arts, and healthy lifestyles. I'm Ernie Floyd, host of the Unity in the Community Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. on Unity Radio 97.9, Worcester's Community Connection.
Hello, I'm Pastor Sharon Henderson of Covenant St. Andrew's United Methodist Church, 24 Hamilton Street, Worcester, Mass. We welcome you to worship with us every Sunday at 10 a.m. Let's worship together and love one another. I'm Sharon Henderson, pastor of Covenant St. Andrew's United Methodist Church, 24 Hamilton Street. We welcome you to worship with us at 10 a.m. every Sunday. Let's do it together and let's make peace.
Support for Unity Radio 97.9 FM is provided by United Way of Central Mass, aiming to improve the community and break the cycle of poverty, and the WUSACS Foundation, seeking to make dreams come true for families in areas of education, social justice, recreation, and conquering cancer. Unity Radio, Worcester's Community Connection.
Hi, this is Raymond Lopolito, the general manager of the Worcester Smiles Football Club, and you're listening to Unity Radio, Worcester's Community Connection.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Unity Radio 97.9 FM, Worcester Community Connection. My name is Susan Ouellette. I'm the host here at the SuSanity Life Show. Super excited to be here with Echo Collins from 508 C.H.E.E.R.S to talk about what she's doing for the community, because that's what we are here at Unity Radio. We're all about community, but I forgot to do something when we first started. So I wanted to read something today. You guys know I read Jesus Calling, right? So this is today, May 6th. Do not search for security in the world you inhabit. You tend to make mental checklists of things you need to do in order to gain control of your life. If only you could check everything off your list, you could relax and be at peace. But the more you work to accomplish that goal, the more things crop up on your list. The harder you try, the more frustrated you get. There is a better way to find security in this life. Instead of scrutinizing your checklist, focus your attention on my presence with you. This continual contact with me will keep you in my peace. Moreover, I will help you sort out what is important and what is not, what needs to be done now and what does not. Fix your eyes not on what is seen, your circumstances, but on what is unseen, my presence. Actually highlighted that. Fix your eyes not on what is seen, your circumstances, but on what is unseen, my presence. That's Isaiah and Corinthians. Yeah. I love this book. I don't know what I would do sometimes. That book saved my life so many different times. So what I said to you prior to us going on a break was that I asked you if you believed in God, and you said that your dad was a pastor.
God is my everything. I literally say, you cannot outgive God. I have everything I've gained in my life. I've gained through giving. I've gained through serving. And I've served my way to the top. And giving is the way. God said love.
And I love that, because that's how I feel too, which is another reason why I thought we should be on the show together. But okay, let's go back a little bit. So before you got into your 508 years, you obviously went to Clark University. What were you like prior to all of your stuff, like when you were younger? Like, what was there something that used to like drive you to go do something interesting or something in your life, like a hobby or something? Because there's definitely more to that than just that. Like it's a lot deeper, and I want to get a little bit deeper into that because I feel like your story is very important, because I don't know who's watching this. Hi, everybody. But you never know what your story how it can impact somebody that's listening at any time. So
I love that. Sports was my life. It was my identity. Me and my twin sister, they called us the Twin Towers. Literally, I have an identical twin sister. And it was my life we were beasts. We were incredible. We were unbelievable. We dominated in every single sport. We received, we were on the all-star team since 8th grade, MVP since 8th grade. I've got multiple banners in my gym in high school. I was all-state soccer, 1,000-point scorer in basketball. We played varsity for every sport we've ever played since 8th grade. So actually our 8th grade was part of a middle school, and they had to change the town ordinance because we would play sports and the middle school teams would just cancel. They'd go, we don't want to play against them.
Oh, geez.
No, that's not fair. It's unsafe. What's the point? No, like literally, when I would get up in softball to hit, we would play a team. There was another set of twins, and they would call a timeout. She would put on full football helmet, full chest gear, because she didn't want to get hit. I hit the ball once and it hit her right in the chest, and she dropped, and it's like her heart stopped or something.
No.
So we were extremely strong. So they changed the town ordinance. So as 8th graders, then we were going up to high school to play sports. So we've had basketball was such a huge part of who we are. Softball, soccer. Brianna played field hockey, but sports was a huge part of our identity. And I'd have to say sports was an escape.
I was just gonna ask you, there's more to this. So what are you, there's something deeper.
Sports was an escape. I had quite the childhood. Trigger warning, my childhood was not amazing. There was sexual abuse, there was rape, molestation, divorce, parents fighting, DCFS, you name it. It was a lot. And basketball was an escape for us. We got multiple offers from schools for multiple sports. My twin had actually decided that she was going to go to Bridgewater for softball, and I was going to Clark for basketball. And we got, letters from schools all over the country, and didn't realize how amazing that was. We could have been down, Virginia, South Carolina. We didn't know. We didn't know any better. So I go to Clark. Brianna goes to go for softball. Meanwhile, at Clark, it was, they're a private school. It's expensive. It was difficult. I could not get in. I did not have support. I didn't have anyone to sign my loans. And I kid you not, my entire life is a miracle. You cannot tell me that God does not exist. My entire existence
I 100% agree with that.
A miracle. Clark is a private school. It is a privilege and it is an honor. And to say that's the school I want to go to and to have no money, the audacity. A man I did not know signed my school loans from Clark. That is how I got to Clark.
That's fantastic.
And it gets better because then Brianna, she's like, oh my God, I can't leave you. She chickens out. She's a chicken. She needed me. She decides she's not going to Bridgewater, that she's going to come to Clark too. Same situation. That man also signed her college loans. Now we're both in Clark. And it was amazing. Like I said, everything was just miracle after miracle. We're there. We can't afford to be there. We're shocked we even got there. And then we encounter someone in accounts payable, Sheila Hokinson. And shout out to Richie Kendrick, Papa Richie, God rest his soul. He's passed. But that was the gentleman who signed our student loans. He ran the weight room and he was an avid sports fan. And he said, no, we need those girls on the basketball team. and I'm going to make sure like everything happens. So that's how I got to Clark. But Sheila would call us in her office like every quarter, like, hey girls, come on down. I got a check for you. And I'm like, what? Hey girls, come on down. Your books are paid for. I'm like, what? Hey girls, I found, extra grant money and now there's some more meals on your thing. And I'm going like, why? Sheila to this day is part of our.
That is amazing.
She's part of our family.
I love that. I love that for you. And I love that. Oh,
She's been to births, weddings, you name it. She is a part of us. Clark changed my life. I'm actually back at Clark now in my master's in public administration and senior leadership, because obviously my life is towards, nonprofit and policy change, policy administration. I'm so tired of people making decisions for me without me. And that is why we need to show up, and that is why we need to know our voice matters.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm back at Clark in my master's in public administration and senior leadership. And actually last week, I just found out that I am the 2026 Clark Alumni Service to Society Award winner.
Congratulations.
I'm so humbled.
I think sometimes we don't realize when we go through things in life, we go through them for the reason that you have what you have. You know what I mean? Like believe me, I went through very similar situations, and there were many times where I was like running. I was a runner. I was always running. I was running to someone or running from something, but I was always running because I never believed enough of myself to do anything, right? Even though I went to college, I still felt, but I always knew there was something, because no matter what I was doing and no matter where it was, there was always either a nudge or something provided. So I'd be like, I knew that I was going to be okay. It sounds like it's the same for you. I think that that's amazing.
God has been with me through I would not change a single thing that has happened in my life. I would not. He is the author and the finisher of my fate. What is for me cannot miss me. What God has for me is for me. And if it didn't come to me, it wasn't for me, or something else better is coming. But we spend so much time thinking about what missed us. We're missing what's coming, and I'm just a firm believer that, negativity is a distraction from possibility. So I really try to stay focused, and I really try to keep a positive mind.
I love that. That's so wonderful. So okay, thanks. Sounds good. So, before you went to Clark, did you work anyplace else? Like, did you have like a job, like at like a, how people, when you were 16 or anything like that?
Okay. And Erickson's, we had the best homemade ice cream spot, and they made their own ice cream, and we were ice cream servers. So
where was Erickson's?
Maynard. We grew up in Maynard, Massachusetts.
Okay.
Yeah. And then other than that, my grandmother took us everywhere for community service. I fell in love with community service as a child. My grandmother would take us to the senior home in Maynard, and my sister played the trombone, I played the flute, and we'd be at the senior home like, we'd be playing like, I don't know what those games are, Baccarat or something, and all sorts of things. And then she took us to deliver Meals on Wheels. And it was so phenomenal. And it wasn't the serving that got me. It was what happened on the other end of the service when they opened the door.
Graham, I'm going to get into Graham a little bit. So guys, we are going on our next break. My name is Susan Ouellette. I'm the host here at the SuSanity Live Show on Unity Radio 97.9 FM with Community Connection, here with Echo Collins from 508 Cheers. And we'll be right back.
Mr. Telephone Man, there's something wrong with my line. What's up, Worcester? I'm Angela Gray, and you're listening to Unity Radio 97.9, Worcester's Community Connection. When I dial my baby's number, I get a click every time.
Hi, I'm Storm, and I'm a part of the Bruce Wells Scholars Upward Bound program. The Upward Bound program is a program that helps many promising low-income, first-generation, college-bound Worcester High School students. After joining this program, I've learned many different and important life skills while making new connections and getting real-world experiences through internships and classes. If you're interested in any of these opportunities, you can find more information at www.sevenhills.org or 617-866-1293. That's www.sevenhills.org or 617-866-1293. A brighter future begins with you.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Q, host of the Woo 508. I'm here with
your girl Liza, Miss Consistency.
And it's your girl Chantel in the building.
Yes, y'all go ahead and follow us everywhere. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, the Woo 508. That's THEWOO 508. Woo!
Roll me a skin, roll me a bone, step into the groove, now you're in the zone.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Graham Anderson, also known as Positively Suzanne, host of Black in Business, Thursdays at 5 p.m. on Unity Radio 97.9. Black in Business is a series of conversations with influential members of the Black business community. These entrepreneurs knows what it means to risk everything to create successful businesses and spark positive changes in the community. So join us. Again, I'm Suzanne Graham Anderson, also known as Positively Suzanne, right here on Black in Business, Thursdays at 5 p.m. on Unity Radio 97.9, Worcester's Community Connection.
Tune in to Affirmations with Alex, and together we will affirm our way to a healthier mindset by listening to empowering messages. Hi, I'm Alex from Affirmations with Alex. Join me every Monday through Thursday at 10 p.m. on Unity Radio 97.9 FM, Worcester's Community Connection.
This is Unity Radio 97.9 Worcester.
Hi guys, welcome back to Unity Radio 97.9 FM, Worcester's Community Connection. My name is Susan Ouellette. I'm the host here, the SuSanity Life Show. I'm also the owner of SuSanity in Sturbridge, Massachusetts. My website is susanitylife.com. It's a holistic health and wellness place. It's pretty amazing, actually, and I love my space. It's so safe. It's nice. I'm here with Echo Collins. She is the founder and executive director of 508 C.H.E.E.R.S and so much more. So much more. I was just telling her that I met her because I've had my show. Well, I had this show for 5 years, but I had a show with Lisa as her co-host for a year too. So it's been 6 years that I've been doing this. And I remember when she had her show at Unity Radio, she was really close with a gentleman, Manny, who was wonderful. He was the producer at the time. But every time she would be there, or I would see her, no matter if it was at the radio or out and about or whatever, when we were doing something, her vibe was so clear and so concise and so beautiful. Like she resonated this light, right? And so some do and some don't, but she definitely does. And I feel like 508 C.H.E.E.R.S is lucky to have her because she's going to not stop. Like that's what you have to think. She is a go-getter, just like her twin sister. She's a go-getter that won't stop, but she does it for a deeper reason than anyone can see on the outside. She does it because of her core, because of her heart, because of what's inside of her, because of God, and God is inside of her. And so I love that for her. And she just has this, like, I don't even know. I can't even say anything nicer, because when I found out about this, I was like, literally messaged you last week. I was like, hey, you want to come on the show? Because I kept watching all of your awards and all these things. And I was like, wow, she needs to be seen. You need to be seen, but in a way where, I don't even know. Anyway, yeah. So thank you for coming on the show.
So grateful for all of the awards. But the thing for me, it's not so that I can be seen, because the youth are the work. The youth come, the youth build the projects, they deliver the projects. I am the platform, and then I sit back and I let them do it.
What I meant by seen was God.
God. Yes.
You're seen.
Yeah. Well,
there's a difference. There's a difference when you have God within you and when you don't. When you really believe and when you don't, there's a huge difference. And so That's what I meant, but that's what I mean by seen. You're seen. You're seen in God's image.
Yeah.
You're seen 100% seen. Like, and you don't stop because you want to be seen that way. Like everything you do has a trajectory of that feeling. Like I have
Yeah,
it
this
right
is my
now. Like I have that
purpose.
feeling right this second. So I know. So that's what I wanted you to know.
I love that. Thank you.
So-
It's the God in me.
Yeah.
And I do. I feel like I'm walking in a season where God sees me. And you know, there used to be this verse, and I used to see it, and God used to bring it to my attention. And there's, you were made for such a time as this. But there is also one that says, and I hid you, right? Because it's not your moment. And sometimes He's working on you, so it's not your time to be seen. But when God wants you to be seen, you'll be seen. And I just love that you said again, you'll be seen, because at Clark on May 15th is our awards dinner for the Service to Society Award. And I actually am so blessed I get to bring along 11 of my youth because they do the work. And because they do the work, they also should get to celebrate and be celebrated and be honored. And I wish all 11 of them could be standing up beside me receiving the Service to Society Award, because they are the work, and the work is for them. So the more I'm seen, the more God sees me, the more they're seen, and the more they can see in themselves that it doesn't matter what street you grew up on, or whose last name your last name is like, or how much money you have, or where you came from, what your parents did, or what you did. You can still be great. You get to be great. You get to make mistakes, and you get to move forward, and you get to change the world. And we have to start looking forward instead of dwelling on things that are just they're changeable.
Exactly. And you're right too about what you just said with the whole thing with if God doesn't want you to have something, you don't have it. You know, a lot of times, and I just recently went through a little bit of something, and it hurt me a little bit. And then I was like, you know what? Then I'm not supposed to have that, because if I was supposed to have that, I would, you know, and take a step back and be like, it's okay. You know?
Yeah.
And I think that what you do with the youth is another way for you to bring them to, if they wanted to be part of God's image too, you know? And so it's like, you definitely have some amazing gifts. And I think you're bringing forward things that maybe these kids might not even realize that they were even able to do.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I have one of my youth, I'm not even going to say favorite, but one of my girls came to me from a diversion program, and she was kicked out of middle school, and she came
What's
to me.
a diversion program?
So a diversion program, or it's like when the court assigns you to go somewhere because you need intervention.
Oh,
or you need support.
Okay.
So it's like a form of support and interjection for youth who might be going on the wrong path.
Okay.
So she comes to my program, and she's by herself, and you know, I go up to her and I'm like, hey, you know, would you be more comfortable here if you had someone with you? And she was like, yeah. I said, well, I have one job left, just one. There's a long waiting list, but if you can make a phone call and you can get one person to take this job, I will give it to you, and you don't have to do this alone. And she made a phone call, and her cousin showed up with her. And when I tell you, these girls have excelled. They have spoken on stages. One of them has been a keynote speaker at a youth conference. One of them stood up at City Hall and said, the world told me I was a bad kid. And I made bad choices, and maybe I was a bad kid, you know, and I didn't respect myself. And Miss Echo told me I could change the world. And she told me if I want to be respected, I have to give respect. And now I care about how I'm seen, and I care about how people see me. And that's why we need more funding for youth programming. That's not necessarily the big programming, right? There's the big known programming, and they're wonderful and they're effective. But then there's the grassroots programming, right? The founder-led, right, on the ground, working with the youth, access to them. And a lot of the times we don't get an opportunity for funding because we're small, right? Yeah, but we're small, but we are mighty. We are impactful, and we are changing lives. And youth are standing up saying, I believe in myself, and my voice matters. And I didn't think it did before, But now I know that it does. And some of my youth will come to events and senators will see them and they know who they are and they say hi and they're like, and I'm like, yes, because you matter and you are worthy and you deserve this. And this is made for you. Senators are made for you to interface with. Mayors are made for you to interface with. State reps are made for you to interface with. Presidents and titles and executives and CEOs and whatever you want, it is made for you. And you get to. And I think that's very important. And I love that I just said you get to, because shout out to my mentor, Diane Langford James, who runs the Torch Foundation.
I see her all the time on
yes,
Facebook. She wrote
Torch
a book.
Foundation.
She just wrote a book?
Like yes, Breaking Cycles,
Breaking
Cycle
Cycles.
Breakers.
Yes.
She is my mentor.
I met her years and years ago.
She is the woman who sat next to me, did not know me, like you, had a conversation with me in a gym. And then she said, my God, girl, you're going to change the world. We need to do work together. And within a month, she had called me, invited me to be a member of a board of directors, introduced me into community and into my power. And she says this thing, I get to live this life. I get to serve the people. I get to. It's an opportunity. You're here, you exist, you're living, so you get to. And that's a privilege. Diane, I love you. You are a mentor. You have changed my life in so many ways. And there's so much more for us to do together.
Yeah, I met her. I forget where I met her, but I met her once or twice, I think. And
powerful. At a community event, at a book signing, at a youth event, at a college. I mean, she's everywhere. And her grandchildren and her sons are so talented. Basketball stars. Well, basketball/football, right? Because one just switched from basketball to football. So, we're watching you. But everything around her exudes success and love and family. Family is the connection. Family is the thing. And it's so beautiful to call someone a mentor, but to see their life and to go, community and family is the
she was your mentor for
I came to the Worcester community, my mentor in how I became me in the Worcester community.
Okay.
Like who knew who Echo was or what Echo was doing. I was just doing things. I didn't want to be like this. It happened because Diane saw something in me and said, you have work to do. There's something in you, and watch.
I love that.
Yeah.
Echo. Now, how did you, that was the other question I had. How did you get your name?
I was the second one, born of twins. So my mom named me Echo, but that's not how. Actually, my mom said, God rest her soul, but there was a princess on Days of Our Lives. It was a soap opera, and her name was.
My mother used to watch that.
Her name was Echo.
Okay.
And at the time, she found out she was having twins, and she's like, "Oh, strong woman, assertive woman, in control, queen or princess or whatever she was." And she's like, I'm gonna name you Echo. Me and my twin always joke because I was born second and she was born first. I say, I was kicking your ass out. And she's like, no, you was born kissing my ass. But I love this. God gave me a message, and I'll never forget it. He said, I named you Echo. You are a reflection of me, and you will echo my word.
I love that. That's beautiful. Ugh, my heart right now is like beating so fast. So guys, isn't it great that she's here sharing her amazing experiences with Diane and with her 508 Cheers and with the community itself and with Clark University. And she's a fighter, and a lot of us should take presence to that because you had the ability to do the same thing. I mean, that's why I do the show. It's about overcoming adversities and rising above the ashes and being present with yourself, with your inner core of yourself. Now, I believe in God. I know when I wouldn't even get out of bed without even thinking about that because he saved my life so many different times. And his presence is the most important thing to me in my life. And Echo feels the same. And so that's another part of the reason why I do my show. Not that you have to believe, because it's not about me to show you that, but there is other things out there that can provide for you what you need. And if you believe in God, great. And if you don't, then there's other things out there for you too. So
a mustard seed of faith.
Mustard seed of faith.
Even
yes.
if you think you believe in God, that's enough.
Yes, exactly. So this is Unity Radio 97.9 FM, Worcester Community Connection. My name is Susan Ouellette. I'm the host here at the SuSanity Life Show, and we'll be right back.
Unity Radio. Worcester, we got you.
Hi, I'm Siobhan Myers, your host on Talking Wellness, presented by the Kiva Centers on Unity Radio 97.9 FM. As a licensed mental health professional and leader in the field, I believe every story matters and healing starts with being heard. Whether you're navigating life's challenges or lifting others through theirs, I'm here to explore the paths of mental health, recovery, and wholeness. Tune into Talking Wellness on Unity Radio 97.9 FM every Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. for honest conversation and inspiration. This program is sponsored by the Kiva Centers, a statewide leader in peer-led support and recovery services. From Worcester to Western Mass, Kiva is lighting the way forward. Talking Wellness, every voice, every journey. Speak up, be heard, and of course, be well.
Are you ready?
Hi, I'm Gary.
And I'm Steve.
And we're the hosts of Cannabis 101 on Unity Radio 97.9 FM.
Join us and our guests on Thursdays at 3 p.m. as we discuss the cannabis industry in Central Mass with energy, excitement, and passion.
We both take pride in providing you important information about the rapid growing cannabis industry. Support for Cannabis 101 is provided by Cannabis of Worcester on Unity Radio 97.9 FM, Worcester's Community Connection.
Hi, I'm Randy Floyd, host of the Unity in the Community Show on Unity Radio 97.9. Join me and my guests as we discuss topics on embracing our diverse cultural communities, the music, the arts, and healthy lifestyles. I'm Randy Floyd, host of the Unity in the Community Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. on Unity Radio 97.9, Worcester's Community Connection.
Activa la radio y Unity Radio 97.9 FM te invitan a escuchar el bloque latino todos los sábados de 7 de la mañana hasta la 1 de la tarde por los 97.9 FM en la ciudad de Worcester.
You're listening to Unity 97.9 FM, WUTY. Let's talk, Worcester.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to Unity Radio 97.9 FM, Worcester's Community Connection. My name is Susan Ouellette. I'm the host here at the SuSanity Life Show. Super excited to be back for our last segment with Echo Collins, the founder and executive director of 508 Cheers, a mom of 2 boys, and just a stand-up amazing woman, truthfully. And before we went on break, we're going to talk about different things, but I think we need to talk about, so I said to you prior to our break a couple breaks ago, I said to you, I watched your journey with your husband. I watched on Facebook when you first met. Like I watched the glow that you had, and him too, both of you. Yeah, I have chills right now. Somebody definitely made that happen for sure. And then I watched the proposal, and then I saw the photos of the wedding. So wow, what a journey. Like, how did that happen?
God. It had to be God.
Yeah.
He calls me his McRib. We're foodies.
McRib.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's just so, we are a true Facebook romance. About maybe 5-7 years ago, we friended each other on Facebook. He was a big foodie. I was a big foodie. He was making food and selling it or posting it. I'd be making food, selling it, posting it. So that's how we first kind of saw each other. And then just normal conversation, just natural, regular friendship conversation would occur in our messages, mostly about food and scary movies. We are scary movie fans and like old school, like Tales from the Crypt was the thing that had us really like, oh my gosh. And then there was this series, it was called The 50 States of Horror. Disappointing. They only had like 13 shows and the rest of the states never came out. So we spent this whole time, a new episode would come out and we were talking about it. So we were building like this horror romance and then it was cut short because they did 13 states. And I'm like, I was expecting 37 more states of relationship here. And so, it was back and forth, but it was always food and scary movies. And somewhere along the line, we came with this inside joke. He posted something about bad children who were out of control. And I said, I better get to like the chancleta. It's in Spanish. It's the sandals that you throw it at him. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, these kids, they don't get disciplined nowadays. So I started calling him Whip Boy and he started calling me Chancleta Girl. And then one day he made this like meme and it was like me and him as a superhero. And it said like Whip Boy Chancleta Girl. But we'd always just talked and we always had so much in common. And it was just always friend conversation. But I was always like, married or in a relationship or so.
And then
food. Shout out to Krispy Kreme donuts. I found myself single. We had still, just regular friendship talk. Ek loved the kids. His daughter is a cheerleader and she was doing a fundraiser and she was selling Krispy Kreme donuts. And I thought, well, now is a good way to kind of test the water and see, like, am I attracted to him? Do I like him? Like, this is non-committal. Like, I'm buying donuts from you. So he pulls up with the donuts. He gets out of the car, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
And I just remember he's like, has this wide, broad shoulders, and I look like a superhero. I can't even explain it, but I from then on, we'd never stopped talking. We just were chatting, and then we just chatted our way into marriage.
I love that.
It happened very quickly. We started talking around Valentine's Day. By April of the next year, he had proposed. And in June, we were married. We haven't even been married yet for a year. June 29th is our 1-year anniversary. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. He is so supportive. He's so wonderful. He is a real man. He shows up. He works hard. He doesn't complain. He's a great dad. He's a dad to a teenage girl, and you know what hell that is. Mm-hmm. He's a great dad. And what's funny is I had seen how he had treated his daughter, and how he had talked about his mom. So then, like, when we started talking, I said, I already know what I'm in store for. Because he's so good to his daughter and to his mom, and how a man treats his mom, and how a man raises his daughter says a lot about a man. Mm-hmm. And he raised his daughter to be a great young lady. She's graduating. She just committed to UMass Lowell, I believe. She's going with some of her friends, majoring in psychology. Shout out to Naimia. And it's just wonderful. And watching him love her made it a no-brainer. It was so easy to fall in love with him.
That's so nice. That's so nice. So,
and he cooks really well. really well. That was the okay. I do.
He cooks.
No, he cooks. He doesn't just cook, like he cooks.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
So your mom, I remember too. I think that your mom. How long ago was it that your mom passed?
About 5 years, maybe 4 years ago. Yeah, that's quite a story. Actually, I just was on Stories at the Stage, GBH, and I told the story of my mother's passing
because she was staying with you.
Yes, and it would be airing in September.
You have pictures of her on Facebook, and you took care of her.
Yeah. It was an experience.
Yeah.
My mother and I were estranged. And I say that to say, like, I knew where she was and how to reach her and all of that, but the communication was limited due to just trauma and toxicness. And sometimes you have to protect yourself, and that's okay.
Of course.
It's okay to put a space between something to protect it.
100%.
Sometimes you're protecting it so that it has a chance to actually come back together and heal. And sometimes you're protecting yourself. And those are all valid. We have to stop punishing ourselves for protecting ourselves. We are human. We are made to self-protect. So we have to stop punishing ourselves when that happens. But she was passing. I did not know. We got a call from the hospital in Maine, basically like, hey, your mom keeps passing out and, we're finding her in places and, you got to come to Maine. And we're like, what are you talking about? And we're not getting a lot of answers. It was confusing. So we go up there, and when we get there, I walk in and I see my mom, and she has no hair. She's all skin and bones. I don't recognize her, but I recognize her voice.
Yeah.
Right. And her voice is that same voice, and that voice was painful. It still carried that weight. And basically the doctors, we looked at each other and we realized, okay, mom's dying, like all at the same time. And then the doctors basically say, well, she could die here alone. We can transfer her to a facility and she can die there, or someone can take her home.
That's amazing.
And I took her home, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I took her home. And she had 30 days with me, and it was.
I remember. I followed you.
Yeah.
My throat chakra right now is going nuts. Like, I followed you. Like, I watched you.
Yeah. The community came. The community showed up. I didn't know what it was doing. I had no clue. The community brought medical equipment, food, plants, decorations. Carolers came to my house, like 60, 70, 80 people. It felt like 100 stood outside in the pouring, freezing rain days before Christmas and sang carols to my mom, because she said before she passed, she wanted to hear carolers. And I posted it on Facebook, and I felt like the world had shown up.
That's amazing.
It was beautiful.
So thank you. It's wonderful ending with this, only because I can again feel her, right? And her heart is pure gold, 100%. And if you are watching this and you know of anyone that could support 508 Cheers, please reach out to Echo or us or someone to give her some, I don't know, help or something, right? Or if you know someone that might want to, be a part of the 508 Cheers with her, because her mission is amazing. And I am just so grateful that she was here today with us to share this. So guys, thank you, Echo, for being here.
Thank you. And if you want to check out our website, it's www.508cheers.org. And there's a lot of great videos so you can see our youth doing what they do best.
So that's it, guys. This is our show for today. My name is Susan Ouellette. I'm the host here at 97.9 FM, Worcester's Community Connection, Unity Radio. I'm also the owner of SuSanity in Sturbridge, Mass, where wellness meets peace of mind, and my website, SuSanityLife.com. Thank you guys for being here. I hope you have a great week, and make sure you get out into that sun. Hopefully we'll have some more of that, and stay strong inside yourself. Bye, guys. Take care.